changes. Oh, here he is.
How are you, good sir?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
We're gonna come back to you, David. Have a seat.
What's going on? Is all new stuff?
Yes, we've got a new microphone. We're working out with a new
See it?
with my laptop. Well, you've seen the laptop. Actually, it's because I forgot my other microphone.
Yeah, this is No, I'll bring it down. Don't worry. Yeah, this is definitely all shades of brown.
Yeah.
And a mocha latte. You just
mocha.
You like mocha.
Mocha with a.
He just looks like
little Baileys.
You just look like a tan white guy.
It's like Bailey's.
Yeah.
Bailey's hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
You
Pritesh
look a little
does-
red.
Oh, well,
I've been out in the sun a lot.
Okay, yeah, you look a little Native American. You look a little feather.
Thank you.
Right now.
Thank you.
that's
you
the
been?
nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Got that too.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. It's hot as hell up here, though.
Yeah, he does have this really lucky
Can we
face.
turn the AC like down,
So,
or up?
who's here today?
Huh?
Who's here today?
Oh, this is exciting. If you guys didn't obviously, we got Mike Esteme, who I met performing at prison together. So we watched each other's, make sure none of us got booties. You know, we
You didn't get a boyfriend?
we protected each other. Alexis and Stasia, I don't know them, but they were referred by other people, so I'm excited to meet them and check them out. Francis, incredible Irish comedian, and I know, baby. And he actually is really interesting. He did a 500-mile walk from San Francisco to LA.
Wow.
Homeless, lived homeless, everything. It took him, I don't know, over a month to raise money for homelessness. So just a really, really awesome guy. So I'm very grateful to have him. Kazim I had on last month. He's back. He's just an incredible comedian. He's kind of newer, and he's just incredible. He's killing the game. And Sean Joshi, just because if I'm going to host it, I'm going to have a freaking Indian person if I want to. Okay? Shit.
This is where you.
Yeah, this is where I have power.
Brown
bitches.
power.
No, actually, I've never met Sean. Just like everyone else, I just seen him on Facebook friends. He performs at the Laugh Factory. He's always performing with the biggest people.
So misconception, you don't all know each other.
I usually don't know most of the comics. It's interesting. People go, it's just I've been so lucky that the word has gotten around about the show that people enjoy, and it's such an interesting experience, not just in bars, you know, or a normal club, that people hit me up all the time.
Nice.
And legit people hit me up.
So who do I
Unlike
have?
you. So
Who do I have to sleep with at one point to be on the show?
I don't know, man. Your boyfriend's right here. I don't want to, disappoint
He
him.
says that
that's
if it's for the advancement of my career,
Yeah.
I'm good to go.
Well, I'll speak to Darcy about that. There's a lot of people I can sleep with for the advancement of my career. Shit. But
Where
yeah.
are we? What time does it start?
We're at Mystic Journey Yoga in Venice, 1702 Lincoln Boulevard. Starts at 7, which really means 7:20 because it's LA time. And we got 6 comics, plus me, BYOB, even though we'll have some drinks and stuff for people. It's awesome. And it's next to a vegan pizza spot, 00, which is really good, which is most people go there to eat before or after. So come check it out. And yeah, and they'll be interviewing all the other comics that you could get there soon.
So what else is new with you? What's going on?
Chill, man. The trailer just came out for the Walking Dead spinoff. I'm in the pilot for that, so you can catch a glimpse of me on that, which is badass. And then I just filmed a pilot that my friends raised money for, which was awesome, for 5 days, called Stuck in Development. It's really funny. It's actually funny. He follows an actor a writer who moves to LA, but instead of actually doing anything, he just does chanting and meditation. Doesn't actively do anything for his career. So it's brilliant. But anyway, we'll talk more. Interview that. I gotta finish packing up. See you guys soon.
Bye. Thank you. All right.
How do you handle stress, Daniel?
How do I handle stress?
From David.
Personally, I watch TV. I'm not gonna lie. People think I'm kidding when I say this. Alexis, if you want to come join us over here,
Yes, I go right in, bro.
yeah, no. And we'll ask you this in a minute. So, people think I lie when I say it, but tacos are my stress releaser. I will stop for a taco anywhere. It'll bring me down. I watch TV, and I am addicted to my phone and the games. I will play games nonstop when I have time. The first question before I introduce you was, how do we handle stress?
I walk my dog usually.
That's
Yeah, do you guys have dogs?
We don't.
Okay, it's a good stress relief.
It's something we're working up to.
Yeah, it's definitely a job, but yeah, play with my dog, turn off my phone, that sort of stuff.
So
go outside.
I walk my neighbor's dog.
is it
quite a
Prigo?
bit.
Prigo? So Alexis Prigo is our first guest tonight here at the pre-show show at Barefoot Comedy. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Nice to meet you.
This is great energy in this place. I don't think anything bad happens here.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Like, you might be pissed off at this place.
Unless you irritate the gods. And then
I
something.
know.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic, so I hope that doesn't happen.
I was raised Catholic.
Okay,
so
good. We didn't burn when we walked
the
in.
three of us were raised Catholic,
Okay.
so we're good. If anything, we'll start a legion just with us.
Yeah.
But no.
Catholics for Catholics.
This is like our fourth time doing a pre-show show here,
Okay.
and the energy is always really welcoming.
Yeah.
And then it's a small crowd, and nobody's drunk, so
That's nice.
it helps.
Nice.
Great.
The only thing is you don't know, like you actually know if you're funny or not, because
Yeah.
people are not
You know.
drunk laughing.
Oh.
When something doesn't land, it doesn't land.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
There's no
Like,
drunk
what?
person going, oh, that's hilarious.
Oh no! I hope someone walks in that.
So how's it going tonight?
It's good. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Do the show for the first time.
So where are you from?
I'm from LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Long Beach
Oh,
specifically.
okay, nice.
Yeah, I work in Venice, and so I like doing shows around here.
So you were
Vegan.
born and raised in LA?
Yeah,
Wow, one of the few.
yeah.
They exist, folks. I know sometimes we're like, we don't. So some of my typical questions for the guest, what got you into comedy?
Let's see. I've always done like acting and stuff like that, and I always thought I'd get my big break by doing a funny role. So people are gonna see how funny I am, and there's just like nothing. There's nothing out there. I was like a background dancer in music videos for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. You see me like crying, just trying to like get my big break. And then someone was like, "Oh, you should do improv. Like you'd be good at improv." And I did improv, and I was horrible. But someone in my improv class did stand up, and he was like, "You should try doing stand up."
Yeah.
So my dad actually knew a female comedian that did classes, so he signed me up as a gift, and I did a workshop, and it went well.
But how was your first show?
It was really, really good. Yeah, I think if it went bad, I wouldn't be doing it. But it's like something about having like one good show early on that just makes you want to do it more. So I had a really good show. I had like 50 of my friends come. So I mean, I could have been horrible, but they were all there supporting me, and yeah, it went really well.
But we're gonna stick with it was really
Yeah.
good. It was really
100%.
good.
It was just great.
But I can relate to that because I did a class. It was like a 6-week, one day class, and they taught us how to write our jokes.
Yeah.
And it was just my life, and my life could be hilarious at moments, but there weren't that many friends. So
Yeah.
I knew when people would laugh. There was a lot of straight Armenian guys, and I was telling gay butt jokes.
Oh my gosh.
So to have them laugh at that, I knew it was good.
Yes, if you can make them laugh, and you can make everyone die laughing, then.
So what is your, do you have a niche? Do you have something you pull from?
Just like cultural, I guess, you know, like what's going on and stuff like that. I try and do it. My dad loves comedy a lot, so I try and do it. So, you know, the jokes I'm telling aren't necessarily like these horrible raunchy jokes where like your family could come. It's definitely not like clean, but you know, something that everyone could.
One of those that your dad's not gonna go like.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn it, Alexis. Yeah. So yeah, no, for everyone, I'd hope.
Can I ask what your background is?
Yes, my mom is Hispanic and my dad is like white Russian.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's an interesting combo.
I even had a question for
Sure.
you. What type of comedy do you do? Do you tell funny stories? Do you do impressions? Or what's your shtick, I guess?
Yeah. You
We
know,
have viewers. That's
oh, this is great. I'm like, who's David? I was like, oh, you're David. I get it.
The little dog, David. I had a question.
You know, I've been doing comedy for 5 years, so I'm still finding, you know, my niche, I guess. But stories a lot and some one-liners. It just depends, I guess, kind of. But mainly stories. I found that stories are probably the funniest because everyone can relate to it, and they're true.
Yeah.
It's not something that you're making up on writing.
And isn't it easier to like not sound like you've been rehearsing the stuff?
Yes.
That was one of when Christian and I've been together for 7 years, and he's my biggest critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So-
has notes in the back, and I'm like, what? I just wanted you to give me a hug.
Yeah. Can you for once tell me that I was great?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have like a mommy dearest moment.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's anything.
Why can't you give me the respect? But I found out from that very first event that I did where it was all scripted because it was a showcase.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I just went out and told stories about it. And honestly, because I didn't have anything memorized or rehearsed,
Yeah.
so I was like, shit, what am I going to do?
That's
So-
great. Probably,
But
you're probably
that was
actually.
that was such a superior performance to the scripted one.
Yeah.
And we've gone to shows that he's been in, and other people who have the scripts, like they pull out all these cards, and he always kicks me on the tail. I'm like, so I always go, oh.
Yeah.
Because you've seen them, and I hope
Yeah.
you doesn't
I hate to say this,
Yeah, no.
it just never goes well when they pull out cards.
No, because you know that they haven't really found it yet. You know.
They're not.
So like they think it's a certain
I always
way.
There was,
you don't see the big wigs who are doing these hour, 2 hour, or hour and a half specials pulling out cards.
Yeah.
You know, they just
We were at a one show, and the person dropped his cards
Oh no.
and then tried to put them back in order, and they weren't numbered, I guess.
That's a
So,
movie.
so he's telling his joke, and when he gets to the punchline, he said the wrong punchline.
Just for a
So
totally different
And
setup.
I was like, mental note, never ever.
No.
So have you, in this last 5 years, have you had one show where you walked away going, what did I just do?
You know,
I
no.
was gonna say, I knew she was gonna say
No,
that.
That's good.
because I knew early on if it's scripted and you mess up, it ruins it. You're like,
Mhm.
crap, where do I, sometimes I'll stutter or I'll stumble on a word, and that's when I really beat myself up. But no, I haven't had a show where I've been like totally off. Yeah, if anything I've learned is like when you go in with nothing.
Yeah.
Really, or maybe a concept or two. That's when the best jokes are.
I've learned that. So for everybody watching, we were at the pre-show show at Barefoot Comedy here in Venice, California. So if you're still in the area, we're at 1702 Lincoln Boulevard at Mystic Journey Yoga. So come join us. The show starts 7:15. We're with Alexis Prigo.
And it is LA, so yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
time is
as
loose.
soon as traffic
a
dies.
loose.
We have had it actually start even at 7:30
Okay.
at one time.
It's
Yeah,
when,
usually.
when traffic dies down, we'll get started. Does Prigo mean anything? Is it-
It came from Prigowski, which and they shortened it to Prigot and then Prigo because we were Jewish.
Oh,
So I guess it was a last Jew name.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
but yeah, I'm here because probably that.
Wow, that's
So it's an
interesting.
interesting
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
So how was the dynamic? Because I'm Latino. My dad is Mexican, Texan, and my mom's from Mexico. So there's a lot of Latino there. But
Yeah.
Latino and Russian, like how was
Yeah.
that mixture?
It was weird. Growing up, I didn't really know what I was my whole life. Like I knew my mom was Hispanic and my dad was just white, but I just figured there was like something. I felt like I was Italian for a little bit because my last
you
name
do
was
have-
Prigo.
yeah.
It's like one of those things like where my family didn't talk about it much.
How?
So, but yeah, it wasn't as far as like diversity went, like how I felt like about that stuff. Or
Okay.
is that what you meant?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
'Cause-
Yeah, I went to private school my whole life, so it was like I was like the 1% that was like
Yeah, exactly.
like a little darker than everybody
Yeah.
else.
Because I would just say for those,
That
you
was my
probably
experience growing up too.
Yeah.
you probably can't see it on camera, but you've got beautiful eyes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
And David agrees with us. He goes, Alexis looks like a much more beautiful Kim Kardashian.
Oh, David, that is so sweet.
Davis is one of our followers from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
yeah, so we're almost international.
Oh my God, it's awesome. That's great. David?
Pardon?
So thanks, David.
Yeah, David's cool. David has been a follower of my podcast. I've had a podcast for about 7 years,
Oh, wow.
and he's been following me since. And
Wonderful.
always comes on and he's like, yeah, he's cool. He's
Oh,
cool.
cool.
What else can you share with us? You're my guest for a little while, so
Oh, great.
yeah.
Let's see. I've been a nanny for like 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's great. Yeah. I work with this family who's from Australia, and they're the most amazing people. Australians are better than everybody. Like, they are the best people. I went to Australia with them, and like right when you land, everyone's just really nice and friendly, and everyone's funny because their accent. I did comedy over there, and everyone like killed it in my eyes because
that's great.
they're so witty, you know?
Is it drier humor?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just have quirky names for words. They put IEs at them and everything. So like you say
Barbie.
firefighter. Yeah, but Barbie. So like firefighter, they call them like fireys.
Fiery.
Really?
Yeah.
Fiery.
It's so funny.
Fiery.
But like half my trip was just me being like, what are you saying? And he talks so fast. But
That's funny.
yeah.
We were just watching something with Australia, weren't we?
No, we were watching RuPaul's
Oh,
Drag
you were
Race.
there.
I was like, I'm into it.
Were you there? Yeah. You were there.
Or Australian and Brit.
We were watching
You're getting confused though. It's weird.
RuPaul's
So funny.
Drag Race, but the UK version earlier.
Yeah.
Is that good?
It's the first time. It's the first season,
Yeah.
first episode, and their drag queens are different than
Really?
here.
Yeah.
Like how?
Like they're dry.
And I feel like the drag hasn't developed
Mm-mm.
to the level like that we're used to.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
West
I
Hollywood.
don't, but I'm like familiar
You're
with
familiar with it? Yeah,
If
yeah.
you go to West Hollywood to the most amateur drag,
Yeah.
and it's still like, ah!
Yeah.
Wow, these guys are kind of like,
Have you seen Tu Wong Fu?
No, what is that?
Oh my god, girl.
Tu Wong
Oh my
Fu?
God.
Tu Wong
Tu
Fu, thank you
Wong
for
Fu?
everything. Julie Newmar?
No.
Do you have gay friends?
Some, yeah.
not
They don't know
like
about
you.
that. No, they didn't tell me.
They don't like
I
it.
don't
girl.
get it. We have
Tell
to
your
tell
gay
you
friends
what.
right now.
Yeah.
How dare they not?
Tu Wong Fu.
Yeah, Tu
Oh,
Wong Fu,
it
thank
is
you for
such a
everything.
cute.
Julie Newmar.
You will see Patrick Swayze in drag.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? I might
You
have
have
seen a little
seen
bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
and then
sounds
John
really
Leguizamo.
good.
John
Yeah.
Leguizamo
Drag.
and
And
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes,
Wesley Snipes.
like the big tough action hero in
Was this
drag.
nominated for something?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
nominated for awards. all
Okay,
over the
I've
place.
seen
It won a
clips of
GLAAD
it.
award.
Yeah,
it won a
it's an
Oh,
older
no
movie.
But it's an
way.
old movie.
Okay.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze's been gone for
Yeah, I know.
If you guys have seen out there, if you've seen Tu Wong Fu, thank you for Julie Newmar, which is the long name, but
Yeah.
Tu Wong Fu. For
So-
those of you that know, Tu Wong Fu,
Oh my God.
we've got to sit with
Well,
you.
Yeah, I
let's
got
put it that way. Like that movie is like the level that New York, like American drag queens kind of do.
Okay.
Like, and you'll see like when they're on, if you watch it, you'll see there's this a stage scene where they're all on stage competing, and you see like, okay, and then if you watch the UK one, you're like, wow, they're like 10 years behind us.
Oh, wow.
Like, they're not right there. Like they're just not that
Even
same
Yeah.
the cheekiness of the names, you know how we drag
Yeah.
queens put on the cheekiness of it that I remember from the 80s is what their names are like.
like Cheryl
So they're
Hole.
just behind a little bit.
Yeah.
You
They're
know,
like
Blue
slowly getting there.
Hydrangea.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
all
Because
funny.
well, you're young.
Yeah, that's like a
You're young too.
31.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I thought you were younger than that.
Oh, I'll take it. I should have said something
That
else.
is, hey,
Yeah.
what is it? Latin is satin.
I'm learning so many things from you guys. I haven't heard that one either.
Latin is
Latin
satin,
is
baby.
satin.
Because
I love
I'm
that.
48 and living in the beach where I'm at.
Okay.
And I'm 35 in Hollywood.
Yes,
Yes.
I can see that. You guys don't age at all.
We're 1 year apart.
Yeah, I'm 49.
Oh, wow. Okay. Look
No
at
one
you guys.
heard that.
So.
I'm not. I'm 39.
30, yeah, in Hollywood. In Hollywood. We're still a young powerful couple. So for the young, if there's a young person out there, let's say a young lady out there wants to go into comedy and
Yeah.
is intimidated or afraid, what could you tell them?
Be intimidated and afraid. Be very.
We don't want the competition.
Yeah, don't do it. Do improv.
Even if you're female, don't do it.
Yeah.
Go be a nurse.
Yeah, seriously, go get a better job. You have to be committed, like 100%. You can't be like, I'm gonna do this twice a week. I treat it like my second job, like it's my college. Like I have to do classes every day for this type situation. Like you have to constantly be working. That's the only way you'll get better, is if you work constantly.
Was this plan A all along, or did you have a plan A before?
Yeah, so this was my plan A. I just didn't know it. It was one of those moments where you're like, okay, this is what I should be doing. And I was so pissed. I was like, I had to pick the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Could have, be a nurse or something like that. But yeah, once it hit, I was like, okay, like now I have to do this. There's no plan B. You have to have no plan B.
Yep.
Because when you give yourself a plan B, that means you don't think you're going to make it in plan A.
Exactly. Yeah.
And every A-list actor you hear, when at least the ones that are respectable,
Mm-hmm.
you hear them, they say, no, this was planned. This was it.
Yeah.
I came here with $16 in my pocket. If I didn't make it, I was going to starve and be homeless.
Yes, and I feel like I won't make it because everyone who made it was homeless and living in a car, and I was like, shit, I gotta be like I'm not poor, but I need to be more poor.
Yeah, I could do it for a week.
Yeah,
I feel
I'll
like-
live in my car if I have to.
Not because, like, I came from Texas, but you grew up in Long Beach?
Yeah, Long Beach, Upland, and Claremont area.
So if you're here and you want to go into the entertainment business, like you have no excuse.
It's true. I feel very lucky that I grew up here because I didn't have to like pack my bags and leave my family and all that stuff. You know.
I'm going to West Hollywood.
Yeah, and everyone always has like $10 in their pockets doing that. Like, but no, I literally just like drove down the freeway and I was like, I'm gonna be a star.
I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
As soon as you cross the 405, I'm venturing.
Yeah, look at me, Mom.
Calling in from the other side. I'm homesick.
Give me a plane ticket.
I laugh because that's so funny. Like, we're such typical Southern Californians to say the 405.
Yeah.
No one else in the other part of the country really knows what we're talking about.
No.
Can you Venmo me some money because I want to buy lunch? But David Gonzalez was asking about your tattoo.
Oh. Yes, I have 2 of them.
Yes, chest too.
So this one.
Do they have a symbolic meaning? Or?
Yes. Well, I was also very young when I got them, David. But this is the year my dad's born. He's still alive.
Oh.
Everyone always looks at that and he's like, oh. And I'm like, no, he's still there. I told him I was gonna put like a little dash and then for when but no. And I figured if I got my parents' years that I wouldn't regret it. So and I got my mom's year in a bow. So that's
Oh, it's inside the bow.
Yeah, right here. Really tiny.
1956.
Yes.
And Arnold Martinez was joining us.
Oh. Who?
Arnold Jaime Martinez.
Oh, hi Arnold. He's a nephew from one of my cousins. Yeah. Out in Texas. Hello, Texas. So now they're seeing us over in Texas. See,
Nice.
we're expanding.
Yes.
Yeah, we're expanding. So if you didn't get into entertainment and you weren't a nanny, what would you be?
Probably a lawyer. I was going to go to
Really?
law school. I took like the LSAT and I was ready to go.
Wow.
And then my dad was like, "You're not doing this."
So he talked to you out of law?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, "No," probably because he knew it wasn't in my heart.
You're fine.
I know. What is his name?
I forgot the pup's
Stella?
name.
Stella?
Stella?
Her name?
I have a Stella.
Stella.
Is it Bella or Stella? Bella.
Bella.
Bella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that didn't see her earlier, Bella is Pritesh puppy, and so she
Much like Pritesh, she likes to come in and get attention and
leave. Yeah, and just like Pritesh, we just give them bones and they go away. I was trying to do the same.
We were talking about your family.
Yes. So your dad,
Yeah, he's still alive.
and he's the one that said we need to be educated.
Yeah, he just he fully supports my decision, which is really nice. Some parents are like,
Yeah, I was gonna say because most parents would be like,
yeah,
no, you're sticking with law.
sure.
Get a career first.
And I always think about that too. If I had kids and they wanted to do this, and you just be like, oh, like it's just so up in the air. You know, like you want your kids to have a solid career, solid income.
Because I can picture myself being a stage dad. Like,
Yeah,
get to
he
it.
totally is.
Start singing.
Yeah, he like will laugh at some of my jokes if they're not funny. Like,
There's one other comedian, Francis.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, yes.
We'll have Francis on in a
Christian,
minute.
Daniel, Alexis.
Hi.
hi.
So,
You're welcome to sit down.
I don't know
Want
if
to
you're.
swap?
We'll stop you in just a second. I don't know if you're open to this, but
Yes.
did you hear about this too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you do this?
Yes.
Okay.
So we started this the last show because we were here. We started at 6, and nobody was here yet, so I started pulling cards for the viewers. And then the guests, as they came and sat down, we pull a card for you guys
We have a mic.
and give you a little goodbye to send you out for the night.
Yeah, these are all good, right?
Yes,
None of them's
yes.
Like you're gonna fall down the stairs.
Yes, you're gonna post it like, oh, you're
Oh,
not going to
Angel
make it.
answers.
Johnson,
Next,
yes.
Okay.
Watch out next week.
Yeah.
So pull one out. Awesome. You're ready.
Oh.
So for those of you following us, we are at Barefoot Comedy. This is a pre-show show here at Mystic Journey Yoga. Come join us. The show starts at 7:15. But our first guest tonight is Alexis Prigo. And as usual now, we're pulling out a card. So you're ready. So
Ready to get pregnant.
oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
you heard it here, but I know your boyfriend. What is your boyfriend's name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Is he watching? Is he gonna be watching?
He needs to be watching.
Right?
Okay, so I feel like there's another opportunity that's been offered because it's making me sweat. So I get the feeling that we've been going through some stress or anxiety on the next movie that you want to do. Because you mentioned earlier, and I'm going to tag on to what you said, like there's no plan B. You've got to go for 100%.
Yeah.
So I feel like going back to doing more artistic work and less nanny work, I feel like I'm tapping into it. I feel like I'm making a jump into what comes up next, and I feel like we're shifting. I feel like you've outgrown either you or who you work for. That the relationship has outgrown itself in a positive way, obviously, but you're ready to take a leap into another direction. I feel like you don't want to be boxed in anymore, so it's advancement. I will say that the scribbles, the notes, they're telling me memoirs, but I'm going to go with like the script or something along the lines. Your funny story of your life is ready to start making its presence. So if you've been writing or starting to write, then definitely go in that direction. I feel like some of your stuff, I feel like I'm doing skits. So start recording or shooting small skits for your page or for you, and that's what's gonna piece your story together. Because they're telling me novelas, like does that mean like little pieces of stuff? But I feel like don't try to take it on a big chunk. Go step by step, and you'll realize how everything comes together. Does that make sense? Yeah. But I do feel like wherever you are now, you've outgrown that. But I'm getting the stress sweats. Like I've done this for so long. If I stop, what now? Well, that's the cool thing. The what now is what's going to get you motivated. Does that make sense? Carl. We'll stick around for just a minute before we have Francis coming out. So we saw him a minute ago.
We had a hard time keeping.
For now, where can people find you? How can they connect with you?
Instagram is at Alexis Prigo, Prigo, and I'm on Facebook under that name too. I don't have I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I was like the generation that we skipped it.
You skipped the Twitter?
Yeah, like once I get famous, I'll get on it again. Once you want to actually hear what I'm saying.
But once you're famous, you'll have somebody do it for you.
Yeah, whatever that's called.
Well, thank you so much for being on. I know you want to prep too before you go down.
Thank you so much for having me.
Follow her. We will put all the information for her, and we'll see you downstairs. Thank you. So that was Alexis Prigo. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, if you are here in Southern California, if you're in the LA area or near Venice, we're at Mystic Journey Yoga at 1702 Lincoln Boulevard here in Venice, California. So come join us. The show starts at 7-ish, 7:15. So come and be with us. Join us. It's $15 to get in. BYOB. There are some wine and some coffee and some teas. So come and join us for that. Mike, S Team, I believe it is. Alexis Prigo, who's just on with us. Sean Joshi, Francis Cronin, Stasha Batwell, and Kazim Rahman will all be here along with Pritesh Shah, who is the host of the show, who will be here a little later. So, maybe you into the bathroom. But there's already.
I think Pritesh is coming from down.
So there are people already down here. Parking is a little tight, so get here early. Come out here and find or Uber. Yeah, Uber is always the best way to do it.
Or whatever.
This part of Venice is always packed. So if you're in the area, just Uber over here. It's usually like $9 or something.
Yeah.
You won't spend more than 20. And there's a vegan pizza place next door. We haven't tried it because I don't trust it. like
vegan pizza.
Like I don't do dairy, but you've got to have meat on your pizza.
We're just not save the earth.
Yeah.
Where the earth will survive us.
I'll donate to save the planet, but not to. So, Mr. Francis, hello, sir. How you doing? Come on over. How's it going? Daniel Garza, nice to meet you.
How are you?
Have a seat.
Christian.
How are you,
This
Chris?
is my boyfriend, Christian, our director.
I can see it. Beautiful couple. How are you doing?
Thank you. Well, we tried. We bought each other online.
Oh,
Just
really?
kidding. Yeah. We betted on each other. You know,
What was the bid?
very pesos.
Dude,
It was in pesos. Yeah, I was poor at that time.
That was 3 million pesos. Which
We
is about
we
5
did
bucks.
meet online. we did meet online. But
We did meet on. We met on OkCupid.
I don't know if they can see you, but you're doing well, dude.
I think
Yeah, he's doing well too. He's been happy. So life's great, you know. You find a bit of love in the world.
So I'm hearing your voice. You're from Kentucky.
Kentucky,
Yes,
born and
yes,
raised.
yes.
Yeah, I'm a Southern gentleman. No, I'm Irish. Irish.
I was going to
born
say
and
that's
raised.
not Kentucky.
So, but you mentioned pesos.
Yes.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yes.
Yeah, yo también. Si quieres hablamos.
¿Hablas español
Yeah.
también? ¿Y el español de dónde?
De Guadalajara, en México.
Ándale.
¿Lo conoces?
Sí, claro. ¿Viviste en Guadalajara?
Viví hace 3 años por 8 años más o menos.
8 años viviste en Guadalajara? Wow.
Tuve restaurantes ahí. Anyway, nadie va a entender.
No.
Back to English.
Well, actually, we do have
All right.
people from Texas and,
That's really
and
cool.
Phoenix and Arizona, so they're
Dude, oh, here, I gotta say.
Just because you never look at someone and assume they don't speak your
Oh,
language.
yeah, we got a few languages in this.
well. Did you ever hear about Cadereyta
No.
near Monterrey?
No.
Because I'm from Monterrey.
Querétaro.
Well, Querétaro is further south, but there's a little town called Cadereyta, Nuevo León, which is really close to Monterrey,
Beautiful.
where after the Civil War, a lot of the land was given to the Irish,
Yeah.
so that they could live there because they had left.
This is great. Do you know for your lot? Because when I was living there, I was educated by the Mexican people. They told me, okay, so when Mexico was having trouble with the English, the Irish decided, well, we don't particularly like the English at that time, so yeah, we'll fight on behalf. And they formed a battalion called the Battalion of San Patricios. Of San Patricios. And for that reason, man, when we had our restaurant down there, every St. Patrick's Day, it was onto the street like 1,000 people just like celebrating Irish culture in Mexico. It was trippy, dude.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
One of my best friends, whose great grandfather was Irish and fought in the war, his last name was Wilson. So my best friend was Guillermo Wilson.
Guillermo Wilson.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
mixing it up.
Yeah, and I was like, how did that happen? And that's how in the history.
And,
Not only do you get comedy here, folks, you get history too.
more history than comedy when you're dealing with me.
And David has said, you are another shade of brown. You speak Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
David Elliott.
This is one of our friends that owns Simply Brown,
Simply Brown.
which is a company that promotes and celebrates the different shades of brown.
Well, that is, well, first of all, that's beautiful. The second thing is as an Irishman, there's nothing simple about getting brown. Dude, when I was growing up, not even a joke, dude, but okay, so in Ireland, 80s, growing up in the 80s, not a lot of money. So the people who had a tan, who could tan well, it meant they had the money to travel.
Oh.
So having a nice tan in Ireland was a sign of wealth and kind of like, oh, they've traveled. So I used to try and get brown, but you can't join these dots. So I literally just giving myself melanoma. You know what I mean? I'm killing myself.
So how long have you been out in the States or in California?
I've been coming here since I was 12, but I only pursued comedy and acting full time in the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they gave me this an artist visa, which feels pretty cool for the self-esteem. And now I can perform stand-up comedy and acting and all writing and all that here.
That's awesome.
In your country.
Interesting enough, Alexis was just here. Just started her comedy career 5 years ago.
Alexis Prigo, very
Yeah.
funny comedian.
Yeah, she was telling us she just started 5 years ago. So we're on this 5
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I'd done a few years beforehand, which set me up to kind of, I guess, enter the American market, open mic market at a standard that it made it a little easier for me to transition, as well as coming to the country, but into comedy. So now I'm at, I guess, 7 years.
Wow. So was this
Beach
plan?
by 2, Alexis Prigo. Yeah.
Was this plan A or
This was
that's another
definitely.
career?
This was plan A, man. I remember when I was about 12, wanting to be a stand-up comedian or a DJ, and I tried DJing, but I couldn't afford. I bought the decks, and then I couldn't afford the records. So it's not. Nobody's laughing at the plight of an Irishman. Simply Brown seems to be anti-Irish now. But basically, yeah. And then I joined the army at 18, the Irish Army, and went to Africa in 2005 with the United Nations. Then retired about 2 years later, and then we opened the restaurants in Mexico because my friend married a beautiful Mexican girl. David married Claudia, and then I went over there to see what all the fuss was about, and we opened the bar. The bars grew, and then at one point we were just having a little trouble with the business, and Alliant Ambiento and all those guys, you know, it started getting a little difficult for us to do business down there. And so he was raising his kid, so he wanted to go back to Ireland for a little while, so we sold up, and then I used the money to transition from business into stand-up. It gave me a few years of not earning money in this business to get get the thing going.
So obviously we don't know the culture there in Ireland, but
it's very similar.
Is it?
Well, yeah. When I say similar now, it's only because we touched on the Latina.
Yeah.
So, like, were you born in LA?
No, I was born in Mexico.
Right. So, dude, Mexico and Ireland it makes sense that the San Patricios went over to that they were formed, because to be honest, there seems to be a shared value system. There's the backbone, obviously, of the Catholicism or the Christian culture, which is do unto others as you would like them to do to you. Don't steal, don't, all that kind of stuff. Now, most cultures have that, but there's something, somewhere in between there and the ability to drink after work and get up the next day. So, like, burning the candle at both ends. Yep. Irish people do it, and Mexicans do it. Dude, hardest working people in the world, Irish, Mexicans, and I think Koreans actually the two of us. But if you do that, well, apparently, if you look at the metrics online, apparently, like, the Irish, Mexicans, Koreans are, I don't know, we're like workhorses or something. It makes sense.
So, but how is
because Ireland was oppressed for a long period of time, so there's a work ethic in there and an underdog mentality that we want to succeed and better ourselves. But we're kind of hard on ourselves, so we never think we're working hard.
So other than the skin color, we're basically the same people.
You could be my sister.
Yeah.
We could be sisters. I'm forgetting. I don't know, dude. Who knows nowadays?
At this point in my life, and if you knew my dad, yeah, probably could happen.
Bro, you radiate positivity. What's your story? Let's not interview me. I'm bored. What's your story?
No. Okay, well, one question though. Okay. So, how was being in entertainment? Did you start in Ireland?
I started making videos in Ireland with my friends. They were we called it adventure comedy. I don't think anyone was really doing it. It was about 2009, and we would jump off cliffs into this cold sea, and we'd film it. And then some of them made it to the news, and some of them went viral because we'd take chances, And then we put a voiceover that was funny. Or at least at the time I thought it was funny. Now I look back and I go, look.
And those videos are still up?
Oh, they're still up there somewhere, okay. Yeah. And,
so we'll have to find those.
Yeah. No, they're all fun. It's very innocent humor, and at that point then I realized, so there's some sort of energy around this that if I was to pursue it, I could see it getting bigger. And fast forward 10 years,
That's awesome.
Sitting with you, dude. The pinnacle of the career, bro.
Actually,
what do you think about it?
We've been doing this for about 5 months now, and once a month, and we completely love everybody who's sat with us.
That's nice.
Some of them have become friends. Some of them have kept in touch.
Yeah.
A couple of them have been on my podcast.
Nice.
So this moment means a lot to me.
Well, thank you.
Because it takes a lot for somebody to trust somebody to ask you questions.
But, it is interesting now. I think everyone's just making sure, because you can go anywhere with a good heart, but you might accidentally say something that you don't even think, but you're just trying to be in the moment quick. So when you're sitting down with someone, when I meet someone like you, who is obviously, as I said, you're just coming with good energy, it's easy. I just know, I can relax with these guys. They're nice people. So,
and not to put us out there, but every time we've, and Christian and I have talked about this, every time we've done the pre-show show, folks who sit down and talk to us are so relaxed on stage afterwards.
Yeah, there's something about warming up that brain to mouth in front of an audience. It's hard to explain it. But say when you're doing stand-up comedy, one of the best things you can do is know your material super fast. Be able to speed through it with no emotion, no act outs, no nothing. Because then on stage, there's no extraneous cognitive overload. You're just literally in the moment. Your brain doesn't have to think, so you can actually make those mental leaps and make things funnier in the moment, rather than stressing about who's watching it. Am I ready? Do I have a joke?
Well, a lot of people are really liking you out there. So.
Thomas Dolan from Ireland. Gotta love the Irish. You're right, dude.
before we forget, make sure to tell people where they can find you.
Oh yeah, yes sir. Yeah, my name is Francis Cronin. FrancisCronin. If you put that into the internet, you'll see good things. That's it. Everywhere, you know. But online, you'll find me online or sleeping in my car. I'll tell you more about that another time in a few years when I can.
Well, you'll have to be on my podcast.
Dude, I'm on. It's already started.
All right, cool. So I also do card readings. I don't know if they told you about
Yeah.
that. They did? I feel like Pritesh is really promoting
This is
us.
what I'm talking about. The most industrious people in the world. Irish, Mexican, dude.
Yeah.
Card readings,
Hardest working people.
All right, cool.
podcasts, dude.
Trust?
Read it out loud.
Yeah.
It says trust.
All right, so I'm going to tell you that
Close my eyes, not true. Feels right.
I want to say, and funny enough, because we said that to Alexis too, but your stories or your book, but I feel like it's not necessarily like a memoir or an autobiography. It's more like, and I'll say this, like a bullshit, like this is my life and bullshit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I feel like your anecdotes, the stories that you want to tell in a crazy kind of way, the things that you've been putting together, trust that they are good enough to sell. So it's time to put that in a book or put that in a script and start promoting it. I mean, that makes sense.
Believe this man when he gives you a reading right now, dude. Right now. Like literally, the reason I'm so tired and falling apart and trying to push through is because I'm in the middle of writing a book. I'm like 60. I saw 68, page 68 at the top about writing about the walk, and we're selling. We're shopping a show around town, and I'm trying to write the 1 hour special based on the journey. So it's like, yeah, man, you kind of like home run, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I
trust this dude. I don't trust her. She looks a little nefarious.
That's my job, to make sure that people have trust and sound good. Thank you.
Can I ask you this?
Sure.
No. Where does that come from, that intuition?
My grandfather was intuitive. My mother is intuitive. So it's in the bloodline. I've always had it. I just only started practicing professionally 7 years ago. And then I bought a deck of cards and started reading for people as a hot thing.
Yeah, and did it slowly become more and more exact? So that over time you're very good at reading people, I guess, right? So you're empathic to a level maybe that's trained higher than the average.
Yeah, I'm a Reiki master, card reader. I don't necessarily need the cards, but I like the cards. I can read you without, like, I can just shake your hand and know about you. People when they come to me, and we were just with some friends last night, who that's how they promote us for business. All I need is your name and a number, and I'll pull the card for you. What's going on?
This is awesome.
So, like, give me a number from 1 to 9.
9.
Be assertive.
Wow.
And what I said earlier about trust that you can do this, it's don't undermine yourself and stop sabotaging yourself into not succeeding in the direction you want to go in.
Okay.
I feel like every 3 steps you take one down. There's no need for you to do that.
Yeah.
You just need
I've
to
been
keep
wrestling with that, dude.
Yeah, you just need to keep going and trust that you are good enough for whatever journey you want to go on.
That's actually more profound than I'd like to admit, because this business, the work involved to try and get a project over the line, like it's a force of will. Like I've been in the army. I've had to do hard physical things, but mental work it's kind of like it's another realm, and it's. So to say, be assertive, trust yourself, that's a nice countermand or a nice counter argument to all that, that self-doubt that every artist has. Because that's where you get the good stuff, is the self-doubt meeting the confidence.
But for you, it's already on paper.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Does that make sense?
I'll take it, man. When the book comes out, when I do the special, and when we sell the show, so I'm gonna say we're gonna sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's meet again and do your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Well, don't go away. We're gonna say goodbye anyway. So
Okay.
it's about 7:00. So I'm sure we're gonna. It's 7:13 here, folks, in Venice, California. We are at Mystic Journey Yoga, 1702 Lincoln Boulevard in Venice, California. The show starts at 7:20 Hollywood time. Pritesh Shah, our host, our second guest here tonight is Francis Cronin, who's breaking the furniture. Alexis Prigo was our first guest. We missed the other guys, but we saw Kazim show up, but he didn't stay, so he went downstairs. So we'll get him next time. But for now, I want to thank Christian, my partner in crime, and my director behind the camera. Thank you guys for joining us. Catch us on Putting Together Podcast. Catch us on Conversations, the series that's coming back. We just took a little break over the summer. Follow us at Lilmesican or on I am Daniel G Garza on Instagram. Check us out there. For now, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, and thank you, sir.
Again, tell them where to find you before we go.
Francis Cronin.
Awesome.
Cronin. Any good social media outlet? Yeah.
All the major ones. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you next month. Have a good one.
You're very good at this.
Thank you. That's my job, dude.
Very good. Thank you, guys. I hope that was fun for you.